And we're live.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Sensational. How are we?
Yeah, good. I'm good, man. How are you doing?
Good. All good. Sun is shining.
Yeah, it's been absolutely gorgeous.
Bit of a mini heat wave going on here.
Yeah.
Which for mountain folk like us
is
unusual.
Yeah, and testing.
Hill folk.
Yeah. But we're back at it. We missed it last week.
Yeah.
But we're back at it, and we're glad to be here.
Back for a pipe.
Yeah, we're making room notes.
Yeah.
Burning leaf.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
Sipping the coffee.
Yes.
Yeah, we're on it.
So, I'm going to start off with a little bump.
Oh, lovely. Which one?
It's Wilson's Best SP.
So good. Citrus.
Generously filled.
Bit of bergamot in there.
It is bergamot, yeah.
Yeah.
So the Spanish, SP meaning Spanish, is very bergamot heavy.
Thank you. I'm going to go for a little box, I think.
We've already got someone joining, Tater Dom. Welcome, Tater Dom.
Welcome.
Bourbon Neophyte sent in.
Oh, amazing.
Thank you, Anthony.
Good to see you, Anthony.
Yeah. So, hope you. That's a new name to me, Tater Dom. So, hope you enjoy it.
Venue change.
Yeah. We're in the garage. Felt like, it might be nice for a change of scenery. And
This is where it all started.
yeah, yeah. To be honest, this is where
the magic happens.
This is where, after streams, if we do them at my place, this is where Dion and I retire. Well, back in the day, before we started this is just where we'd hang out and smoke.
Right. The smoking room.
The smoking room, yeah. Every inch of this garage is covered in a fine layer of cigar ash and dottle. So
seasoned.
yeah, it's seasoned. And it's got a
Like
permanent
cast
roommate
iron.
of its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, bro, what are we smoking?
Tonight, I believe I'm going to go with Whack-A-Mole first.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, for those who didn't see us last time, we got a bit of a haul in, didn't we?
We sure did.
From Smoking Pipes, and we got ourselves some Cornell and Diehl for the first time.
Yeah, we got like 5 bands.
We got five because we went a bit mad. We got some Redburn, which I am smoking tonight in the crumble cake.
Yeah.
We got some Whack-A-Mole, which was on offer. That was something crazy. Was that something like $8 or something?
Probably came to like £9.
That was ridiculous.
No, yeah, it must have been like £8.
It was £8,
It was like
yeah.
£9.30 or something.
It's crazy.
It was on sale.
Yeah.
Well, this is a Smoking Pipes line, but it's made by Cornell and Diehl.
It is,
so.
yeah.
And this is the Whack-A-Mole, which is a vapor, and it just felt appropriate.
Broken flake?
Yeah, it's a broken flake. The flakes fall apart nice and easy. Lovely presentation, and just a nice hit of Perique in it.
And how are we getting on with these blends? Because we also got the Exhausted Rooster.
We've got Exhausted Rooster.
And we got the Briar Fox.
We got Briar Fox. We also got
Bayou Night.
Yeah.
The Perique.
That's got a real kick.
Perique.
There's a real Perique mule in there.
Yeah. How are we getting on with those blends?
Well, we went fishing recently, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we both took the Bayou Night. Made a little post about that.
Yeah.
For me, straight away, that's like, boom, Perique.
Yeah.
Off the bat. It is like, some people say 30%, some people say 50%.
That's a double dose.
But that's a big old dose of Perique. Yeah. But it's just what I wanted, really.
Yeah.
And with the heat and being by the water and it feeling a bit humid, I've never been to New Orleans, never been to Louisiana, but it just felt like...
It was right, wasn't it?
It just felt right, yeah.
It was so good.
But yeah, these blends are real developers.
Yeah.
I think that's what we both found.
Yeah.
Like, when I first lit up the old Briar Fox, I thought... people said that it tastes like cigarettes, and to me, like, first puff, I was like, this is like American Spirit.
Yeah.
American
Clean
Spirit.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing, like, fancy about it, nothing...
Straight. Honest
pretty
to goodness.
straightforward.
Yeah.
But, that's selling it short a little bit because it does really develop along the course of the haul.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
Straight away you get that cigarette-ish American Spirits kind of taste, and then it gets real. The Burley kind of kicks in a little bit.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of spice. But it's just got like a simple country kind of flavour.
Yeah. I think I said... some of these, like especially the Whack-A-Mole, I find that's in like thirds.
Yeah.
So the Virginials will get you going, then the Burleys kick in, and then those Periques or the Orientals, like the
Right.
the Kentucky or the Izmir.
Izmir, yeah.
When that starts to kick in, like they just add this extra bit of spice,
Yeah.
a bit of flavour, and it really develops. I was really blown away that like how well that it smokes. It really does keep you smoking right the way through. It changes. It's great. Very different to kind of what I've been used to. What I've been used to in terms of Burleys, the Burleys come through a lot clearer and with a different kind of a spin, a different kind of flavour to the Burleys that we typically get here. So yeah, I've been really impressed. I think Exhausted Rooster, Whack-A-More, and the Redburn, I think I've smoked the most.
Yeah, I'm almost out of Exhausted Rooster.
Yeah. Exhausted your supply.
Yeah, it's a real, it's a sweet smoke, but not like overly sweet.
No, yeah.
It's kind of a,
Good balance.
yeah, it's like, you know, if you fancy dessert, but you have like Greek yogurt and berries
Yeah.
instead of like cake. That's kind of what it's like. It's like a nice sweet smoke, but not overly cloying. And that casing, that alcohol liquor casing,
yeah, it's out of this world.
yeah.
The other thing as well I'm really impressed with, so I've just packed it straight away, light straight away. Moisture is absolutely primo. It's just right.
Yeah.
Just enough to hold it together into a nice cake or flake. But once that gets rubbed just a little bit, gets packed, it's really forgiving.
Yeah.
Really forgiving.
I really do like the crumble cake presentation.
Yeah.
That we don't really get over here.
Right. So I understand that. So when I was looking at like Mutton Chop Piper and he was having a bit of a moan about moisture in Gowith Hogarth flakes, I get it now.
Yeah.
I understand why. Because the flakes and the moisture content for the Cornell and Diehl blends is it's much drier.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, us being in the UK, that's kind of like Gowith and Hogarth is like our first. Yeah, and it's just how it is.
Like how it is.
And you learn to deal with it. But
Yeah.
I can see how coming from these more American blends to Gowith and Hogarth, yeah, the moisture content, it would be, a stark change.
Yeah. And there's a couple of things as well over the last sort of week or so. So I got treated to a Father's Day around the corner for all the dads.
Look at that. It's a little bit hard to see. Do you want to give it a little bit
Try
of
and just bring that a little closer. So that is my Jamestown Old Dominion clay pipe. Little tiny Warden. Thanks, bro. So this was a gift from my old ball and chain, and I'm just absolutely in love with it. I think it's a great little pipe.
Yeah, it's a lovely little pipe.
Faithful in terms
yeah.
of the reproduction. So that would have been a small bowl, 17th century. Lads going out there, growing their backy. It's in short supply. It's a hard life, and it's it's a tough life. It's
yeah.
So not a lot of money around. So pipes were rented.
Well,
typically.
I'll tell you what, guys. Do this now if you want. Just open a new tab and look up Pathé. You know British Pathé.
British Pathé.
Like they got these archives of old footage.
Yeah.
The Old Inn, and I think it's from 1953.
Yeah.
And it's footage of this inn that's modelled on basically like 17th century kind of a tavern.
Yeah.
And it goes over like the kind of food and wine that they served and the beer. But what it shows you is that it was the thing back in the day to have like a stack of these clay church warnings, and it was like threepence. It was like threepence for the use of the pipe and a bit of smoke.
Yeah.
And you can see this old boy and he's got his long church warning and he's going away.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would like hire the use of the pipe.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the night, it was the tradition that they would put all the clay pipes in the fire.
Yeah.
And that would just clean them out.
Sterilise them.
Yeah, sterilise, clean them out, and they were good for the next day. It's a beautiful. I mean, I recommend any pipe smoker to look that up because it's just gorgeous.
Yeah,
it's just like a beautiful snapshot of just like the way things
where
used
it
to
started.
Be. Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
cool.
the clay pipe. If you don't have a clay pipe, I recommend that you get one because the bowl itself does get hot. So if you get one with a longer stem, you would sort of hold it like a cigar kind of thing. But the smoke is so cool. The flavour is so clean.
Yeah.
And it's just delightful.
The one downside is that we don't often. It's hard to clench.
Yeah, not a clencher.
So I've modded it a little bit. I've tried to keep it sort of in keeping, and I've just done a whip knot around the top with some baling twine, some natural
Like
hemp
jute.
or jute string, and it works a treat. Works an absolute treat. Gets a bit soggy, but but it dries out no problem. Yeah, it's just a job.
Beautiful. Right.
What's on the chat?
Matt of Poland is in.
Oh,
hey guys.
outstanding.
Welcome
Good to
back.
see you,
Thank
Matt.
you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for joining us. Duncan is in. Sorry, guys, running late. Hope you well. We are good. Thank you.
We're running late too.
And, yeah, we were running late
thanks
too.
for
Yeah,
bearing
so
with us.
thank you for being patient. And and thank you for your email, Duncan. Duncan checked up on us when we weren't posting at the usual time. So thank you for checking on us, brother. But everything was fine. It's just that circumstance didn't allow us to put one out that week. But yeah, so
There's been a couple of bereavements in the family, I would say.
yeah,
So we lost a good author,
2 nights ago,
Cormac McCarthy.
Cormac McCarthy. Yeah, and it's pretty
Memory Eternal.
Memory Eternal, and it's quite apt because you were in the middle of
I've just started
right.
Blood Meridian.
Yeah,
And my goodness gracious, what a book. what a book. So this was heavily recommended read pushed onto me.
I gave him the book.
Not to say that Harry, railroaded me into doing it, but he did threaten my life. He did threaten me with physical violence if I didn't read it.
Much like Judge Holden.
Much like Judge Holden, he did question my manhood. What's the matter with you, boy? So I relented, and it's amazing. What an amazing read. The way that he writes is very unusual. I find for most of the typical. I've never read any Cormac McCarthy stuff. I've seen seen films, seen Old Country, seen The Road. Great, love him. Great stories. But I've never sat and read a Cormac book right the way through. And the way that he writes is quite not unique, but it's quite unusual. The way that he writes dialogue is quite unusual.
Yeah, no use of punctuation apart from a full stop.
Yeah.
Period.
Or even who the narrator is sometimes.
Right, yeah.
It's not always immediately obvious.
Yeah, the prose is very, very idiosyncratic.
Yeah.
And
his descriptions.
Yeah. Very sparse.
Yeah.
But in a way similar to Bukowski.
Yeah.
But what sets Cormac apart is really the dreamlike nature of the prose. It's you sit down, you light your pipe, you start reading some Cormac, particularly Blood Meridian.
Yeah.
And it's like you're drawn into a kind of like a ephemeral dream world that's like half waking, half, dreaming and
nightmarish.
Nightmarish.
Always,
yeah. Things in Blood Meridian particularly, things can take a turn for
in seconds.
Yeah, exactly. And even though you kind of know what the book's about, it always blindsides you. I've read it a few times now.
That's great. Characters-wise, there's I wouldn't go as far as to say there's protagonists and antagonists.
No, there's no good guys.
There's just a lot of antagonists.
Yeah.
But it's very. They're not kind of cartoony, despite them being quite bizarre descriptions of characters. Like I remember Anton Chigurh being described as a man with no sense of humour.
Right, yeah.
But with Judge Holden, he's a man who has absolutely no hair, no eyelashes,
right,
no eyebrows. He's completely hairless and completely moralless as well.
Yeah, amoral.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people say, and since I've read that, I do start to see the parallels that Cormac was quite influenced by Herman Melville's Moby Dick.
Oh yeah.
And essentially, you've got this in Moby Dick. You've got this big white mythical, Leviathan.
Ah, yeah.
That's the judge, right?
Yeah.
And I also think that there's something like serpentine about like being hairless.
Yeah. Yeah, like a snake. Yeah, it's and the kid, it kind of goes through a little bit from the kid's background, but it doesn't spend ages and ages and ages. It's like
see the child.
Yeah, see the child.
See the child. That 3-letter.
That's it.
Initial sentence.
Straight in.
Yeah.
Straight in, and it goes through his in just a couple of pages goes through his entire pretty much his entire backstory and why he is how he is, and then it is just a harsh, hard, unforgiving, brutal. Existence.
There's no love, there's no lenience, no compassion.
No.
Everything is just scraping for your life.
Yeah. And the way that so it's not Tolkien like, but what I like, which is similar kind of to Tolkien, is that the environment itself has kind of personality for me. Like when they're talking about the mountain ranges and the horizon, or the way that the trees look, or the way that the prickly pears look, describe, and the way that he describes that, it gives that environment personality. That it's like a character of itself. The land is like a character itself. And the animals, like the lobos, white, because you could have just said wolves,
right?
But the way that he describes them with like these bright yellow eyes and like the lazy gait, the Spanish wolves, that's right. So yeah, just outstanding, great read. I'm absolutely hooked.
Remember the bit with the hermit? And he's like, he shares his like mouldy rabbit stew with him.
That's right.
And then in the night, the kid wakes up and he's just like...
He's staring over him, yeah.
And he just slinks back to his bed. And then he finishes his night's sleep. For me, that would be, I'm going.
See ya.
Thanks for I'm going.
And the Mennonite.
Right.
When he sees him, and that's like yes, it's the foreshadowing, but I think that's like the linchpin around where this book revolves.
Right.
When he says, "The hell ain't half full."
Yeah. And obviously, you've just read the paragraph that everybody talks about when they talk about the Meridian, the Death Hilarious paragraph, the charge of. I don't want to spoil too much, but the charge of the Apaches.
Well, also we'll get we'll get the Red Cross right the way through the video if we go into this. But yeah, the stuff with the Apaches is
that just like
horrific.
Paragraph that's like one sentence or maybe like a couple of sentences.
Yeah.
And it's just the way he talks about like the old armour that's been dented by men whose bones are now dust. And,
guys with dreadlocks that are dragging on the floor and like
splashed with animal hair.
Yeah.
That I've never seen
animalistic.
Yeah. Never seen storytelling description like that.
Yeah. No.
So and now he's
sad to lose him.
Now he's gone. He was 89, and that's a good run.
Yeah.
But
God bless God rest you.
Yeah, God rest.
And unfortunately, we lost another brave lad.
Yeah.
A lad who could be described as a bit of a pioneer.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's also been described as a bit of a mad lad.
Yeah.
So a bit of a maverick,
Certainly.
A bit of a card.
Yeah.
Probably would get struck if we said his name.
Yeah.
But for the boys who know, God rest you, TK.
Yeah.
He'll be building cabins in the Great Blue. I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And another sad loss.
Yeah. God rest him.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of losses, in a way, should we move on to Alan?
Yeah. So this was an interesting point. So Mr. Dr. Harrelson, I should say, of the Pipe Cottage, one of my favourite channels. His content's just great. I love his descriptions. I love him. Just hearing him talk is great. Good guy. Younger than me, I think.
Really?
Love to hear him talk about pipes. Love to hear him talk about fatherhood, about living a Christian life. Great guy. He's off. He's nuking his, and he's burning down the farmstead and salting the ashes. He's going scorched earth. No YouTube channel. Not moving it to
Rumble.
Not moving it to Rumble. Yeah. No. He's packing up the wagon, and he is going out west. This man is using it. He is channeling his digital manifest destiny and heading out west. And I can't wish him anything but Godspeed and good luck.
Absolutely. That's you just told me that news. I didn't realise that.
But I mean, the reasons why that he goes through. I mean, everything he says is very logical, and he's great at going, taking you through his logic chain of where he arrives at these decisions. And I couldn't fault him. He was describing the way that the algorithms work. He doesn't want to be beholden to Google, what he can say and what he can't say. That he wants to speak more about politics. Obviously, him like us, we have our culture. As Anglos, and there are things that are frowned upon from our culture.
Absolutely.
Him exactly the same.
Yeah.
The North-South thing. So I don't want to do it a disservice by getting it all wrong. But go and listen to what he's got to say. I think, but he feels that he can't do that on the platform that he's got, and he's prepared to go all in, have his own channel, have his own blog, have his own forum, and do it all himself. And God bless him. I really hope it works out well.
Yeah,
I'll be joining
me
up.
too. Absolutely, Godspeed. I mean, it's no secret that YouTube is absolutely nerfed. Like, doesn't like tobacco.
Nah.
Doesn't like talk about tobacco. Good luck getting any kind of promotion or recognition, if that's what you want to talk about. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a great move.
And he talks a lot about him. He's a father. He said that's his primary job. And he says it's the at the same time that the most rewarding and the most exhausting job that a man can have. And as a proud dad of 3, I can't agree enough.
Absolutely,
100% agree.
Nothing like being a father.
Yeah.
All the joy that comes with it. But also a lot of. I mean, it's I mean, for me, it's just like it's constantly on my mind. Like mine is so young now, but I'm constantly thinking about the world that they're going to grow up into, and how the man I want to mold my son into, and the woman I want to mold my daughter into.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm thinking too far ahead, but
I think now's the time.
Yeah.
They're shaped so much in the early years, by what they see and what they hear, and
absolutely,
their interactions with stuff, and Dr. Harrelson himself says that he doesn't like what they're learning at school. He doesn't like what they're learning off the TV. So he said, I don't want them having social media stuff. Like, couldn't agree more.
Definitely not. Definitely.
We didn't have it.
No,
we did all right.
Absolutely. And to get onto this subject, I mean, I won't get too spicy, but I think for if, with social media, if you've got daughters, the main concern is the social media, the Insta, that kind of stuff that they're exposed to, and the kind of stuff that they think is acceptable or even like something to aspire to.
Yeah.
And for boys, it's prawn.
Yeah, for sure.
That
corn stuff, man. It's not good. Yeah, it's not good. And again, once upon a time it was Mucky Books, Mucky Mags.
Yeah.
And it was one picture and it was static.
Exactly.
Now it's like multiple browsers, multiple windows, and it's one and another and another and another, and it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And the effect that has on a lad's mind is considerable and long lasting.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, I remember being a youngster, and like your dad would take you for a walk in the woods, and it'd just be like a discarded Corn magazine, and he would hastily kick leaves on it. But that's like the exposure that you got, and it was extremely minimal. But now it's like what I think.
That's nothing now, is it?
Absolutely nothing.
That's nothing, And not only that, I think it's like trumpeted now as like, oh, you're empowered,
right?
Go and do it yourself. Get yourself a site, and do it yourself, and you'll be, you get loads of money, get loads of rent, and it's not just. I don't think it's just the money either. I think specifically the attention, attention and the admiration,
that is
the
gaze.
Currency, yeah.
On the old orangutans.
Correct.
You see, we're speaking like children because we have to make up code words.
Bro, this coffee's outstanding, by the way. So we are just about to hit. Well, we're in it. We're in the first week of the Apostles' Fast. So we're off the sauce this week.
But particularly because it's a Wednesday as well.
It's Wednesday.
The betrayal.
Yeah, but this coffee's...
The coffee's good. I mean, the coffee is the lifeblood of the fasting season.
It really is. It really is, yeah. I remember Father... the monastic, the Australian monastic,
For the Cosmos?
No, it'll come back to me. So he did the one with the Anglican priest in Sinai. It'll come back to me. But he described himself as so like the Arabic word for slave was Abdul, right? It's like Abdul Nazir.
Yeah.
So he describes himself as Abdul Nescafe. And where you see where he lives, it's like in a crack in the mountain, right? It's like it's a cave. It's
in Australia.
It's a hole. No. So he lives in Egypt.
Right. Well.
But he's an Aussie and went over there. Like left everything, left his life. His mum died, and he had a really bright. We'll come on to our third character in the story today. So we've got Biggie with us today. Biggie Paws, the notorious DOG. He's going to come and say hello. But yeah, he'd gone away. He'd had an experience in a Serbian monastery. Really strong, powerful experience. Left everything, left the world, turned his back on the world, and became an Oriental Orthodox monastic Copt.
A Copt, yeah.
And he lives out there now, and he took an Anglican priest to go and get face to face with the real, raw, visceral, spiritual battle out there, and it's good. It's good watching. I think it's probably like the documentary's available on online. It was called Extreme Faiths.
Extreme Faiths.
Yeah, and it was all about him. It's really interesting. It's bugging me that I can't remember the guy's name, but that's the way it is just at the moment.
Speaking of the old Oriental Orthodox and Extreme Faiths, I do remember seeing this video of an Ethiopian Orthodox monk, and he had like a church or a chapel like carved into a mountain, and he had to like climb a mountain. And this lad is like 70, 80 or something.
It's going upstairs.
Yeah, yeah.
Just going upstairs, going up ladder.
So yeah, I mean,
what a life.
God bless him,
Yeah.
God bless him for that. So we have got Biggie with us, the old Labrador. Here he is, right on cue. He's roaming around. Our good friend Jonathan's dog.
Yeah, Johnny's with us having a cup of coffee. He's a bit camera shy, but we're going to try and we're working on him.
Yeah, one day, and his boy too.
He's closer now than he ever has been.
Yeah.
So we're getting him by inches.
Dion got him a cob.
Yeah.
Probably a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
Maybe a year ago.
About a year ago.
Yeah. And he enjoyed the rum and maple.
Yeah.
I think,
yeah.
Telling us.
Century. It's been a while since I've ordered some Century stuff, actually.
Yeah.
I'll give him another go. So and then in terms of like sort of stuff that we've been watching, stuff we've been reading. So I'm trying to get you red-pilled a little bit on Scorsese.
Yeah.
I think I'm pushing against an open door because we've already we love Taxi Driver, great film.
Yeah.
But we had an evening the other night watching Goodfellas.
Yeah.
We had a sit down.
We did. Sit down. Yeah.
A sit down and a steak. And,
it was very good.
Which was nice. A nice bottle and some bourbon.
Yeah, a lot of bourbon. Yeah.
Oh.
That was the night that really.
It wrecked me for about a week.
Yeah,
afterwards.
I felt rough the next
day.
Before we get into Scorsese, let's just.
Yeah.
We got Kyle. Hey from the States. Love y'all's videos chatting. Thank you.
Great to have you with us, brother.
Yeah, great to have you with us. Absolutely. We got Samuel Gravel. Finally able to join in live. Great to be here. Cheers, lads. Sam from Bedfordshire.
Outstanding.
Cheers, Sam. Thank you for joining us. And we got Duncan again. Evening all. Hope we all enjoying a ball. It's actually sunny in Scotland. Smoking in the sun is glorious and keeps the midges at bay.
Outstanding.
Yes, that is like one of the joys of smoking. Keeps the old midges away.
Yeah.
Just like I remember reading that.
Did it last week? Didn't it when we were out fishing?
Absolutely. Yeah, we were out fishing.
Off.
Kept the mozzies away. And it's a thing in South America. They have they call it mapacho, very strong kind of tobacco. It's not Nicotiana. I think what we smoke is called Nicotiana tobacco or something like that. They smoke Nicotiana rustica, which is like a very strong. And the farmers smoke it in the fields because it keeps the mozzies away, and also the snakes. Snakes don't like either.
Okay.
Yeah, it repels the serpent.
Oh,
Extremely
there you go.
Yeah.
So based.
Yeah,
so based.
Well, yeah. To get back to Scorsese, I was a fan of Scorsese. I loved The Departed.
Yeah.
Taxi Driver, like you said. I love Silence, which I do think we should watch together at some point. But I've not really seen the old like mob flicks.
Yeah.
Until we watched Goodfellas together.
Yeah. So good.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
That interaction, like, it's like just just magic between Scorsese, between De Niro and Pesci.
Yes.
And Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
It's great. So it's kind of the first of the three, like the triptych of the mob films. I think with that and Casino, and then latterly The Irishman.
Right. Which I have seen. It's been a while.
Well, the Irishman I kind of put down as being like as Scorsese's Barry Lyndon. So for any of the Kubrick fans, it's like Barry Lyndon's like quite a long, quite a reflective and quite a slow, steady pace.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still this stuff goes off. there's still whack-ins. I don't want to spoiler alert. There's whack-ins in a mob film, but it's just a much slower pace, and it's much more like reflective of like the contemplation of getting old, and seeing death face to face, and coming to terms with that.
Yeah. There's some religious themes.
Right. But yeah, Goodfellas is one of my favourites.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like as the sort of the story develops, Henry, he's a kid and he kind of grows up around the mob.
Yeah. It was a little bit departed, like when
Yeah.
the kid scenes, when Matt Damon's character
Yeah.
is kind of like getting inculcated into.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, you tell me, man. What were your thoughts and your enduring sort of takeaways from it?
It was nice to see some familiar faces, from The Sopranos, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
Melfi was in there.
Yeah.
Frank Vincent was in there.
Phil Leotardo.
Yeah. Chrissy was in there too.
Yeah.
Spider, as he was
Spider.
called.
Spider.
Yeah. I mean, Pesci's character was hilarious.
I'm terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, like, to speak of, like, flipping into violence in a second, like, that was... Yeah, his character, he played a really scary character because... I mean, Joe Pesci, not, like, physically imposing, not like a Gandolfini.
It's personality, isn't it?
But he plays like a psychopath really well, yeah. And...
So apparently in real life, like the Tommy Two Guns DeSimone, who Tommy DeVito's character is based on,
right,
was like 6'8",
right,
but worse, like more psychopathic,
right,
just like shoot random guys on the street,
right.
But I think he just did a great job.
He did an excellent job of it, yeah. Funny storyteller in there. Like, you really see like the art of the storytelling from him.
Yeah.
I think that's something that men do when they get together. They tell stories, and we learn to tell stories in like humorous ways.
Yeah.
That's something that we do.
Yeah. I think humor is like a language of itself.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like, we all know that guy who's got great stories and tells them in a good way, and he really like
especially when I had a couple of drinks and the tongue's loosened up.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Fridays for the wives and Saturday for the Guma.
The Gumas. Yeah. But yeah, it's so I'm going to get you next on to Casino.
Yeah.
My favourite Scorsese film. Maybe a little bit controversial because I think the consensus is that everybody prefers Goodfellas because it's more accurate in terms of what the characters were doing. It's very, very faithful to Nicholas Pileggi's book on what's called Wise Guys. Right. It was all about the characters that were involved, so like Jimmy Burke, not Jimmy Conway, but Jimmy Burke, Henry Hill, Tommy DeSimone, and Paul Vario. All he was the capo for the Columbo crew, right. And it's very, very faithful. Casino isn't quite as faithful. It's based on events that were true, but it plays a little bit more fast and loose with the characters. But as a story and it's like I see it almost like a modern epic aria, it's almost kind of operatic in the way that you see this massive empire crumble, right. And it's fantastic. But there's more violence,
right? Yeah.
There's more whack-ins, and Pesci in that it's my favourite character that he plays. So that's the next sit down.
Absolutely. And then I think we were talking about moving on. Once we've done the whole the mobsters, we're gonna move on to westerns.
Yeah.
Westerns.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of, westerns and that. I mean, you were saying about Alan.
Yeah.
How he's of Pipe Cottage. How he's sacking it all off. He's doing his own thing. Reminded me of the old Colt of Wall. We love Colt of Wall.
Yeah.
Talk about Colt of Wall a lot. Listen to Colt of Wall a lot. He was offered to go on JRE, to go on the Joe Rogan.
Was he really?
He was, yeah, and he turned it down because he had ranching to do.
Mate,
Right? How real is that?
So
he
real.
turned down the biggest podcast in the world
Oh wow!
because he had to throw ropes.
What a lad! What a lad! Filmed straight and true.
Yeah, yeah, ropes throw straight.
What a lad! What a lad!
And yeah, I mean, on the same subject, sorry to be wearing the old hat indoors, but I haven't had a chance to shave my head yet, and I'm picarding pretty bad here, guys. So I'm gonna keep the old hat on.
That's it. It's Lenin without the hat, and Coulter with.
Yeah.
So maybe in terms of westerns, once we start getting onto them, we can ask the guys for some recommendations.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that thing specifically with Pipe Cottage going out, it struck me as like he's going out into the wild desert plains. You know, he's off out sort of expansion westwards, and you know it's a real adventure.
Yeah, the new frontier, and I don't think he's alone in that. Yeah. I mean, certainly in the pipe world he is, but I think more people are moving away from that. I mean, people moving away from the old YT.
Yeah.
We don't see the direction that things are heading. Yeah. Carl says The Irishman was one of my favourites. Yeah, I remember enjoying The Irishman. It was quite long, but for me, it was just like the uncanniness of Robert De Niro's like young face.
Yeah.
You know that scene where he fills that guy in outside the shop on the corner, and it's like
after he messes around with his daughter or something.
Yes, that was it. Yeah, it's like this is clearly an old man.
Yeah.
These are the movements of an old man, and it looked odd. Yeah, but I mean, I think
that's the thing. They're all getting old.
Exactly. Yeah, this old breed. They are. Yeah, I mean Scorsese, like you said, he's getting old.
Speaking of getting on, how's you?
Yeah, well,
where are you at?
I'm about halfway down with this whack-a-mole, and you know what? There hasn't been even a threat of bite, not even a whisper.
It's great, isn't it?
It's so good. The C&D proprietary Red Virginias.
Oh,
so sweet.
Great.
No bite, not bitey
no.
at all. And then the slight sourness from the Izmir.
Yeah.
Really just adding like another dimension. Then of course you got the Perique.
Yeah.
The red wine.
The magic.
Yeah. Not particularly spicy, this Perique, but the fermented, deep fermented funk of the old Perique.
Well, bro, I've got the old duet, the old 1-2 left jab right hook of the Burleys kicking in here, and those Kentuckys. Oh, that's we've got through the nice Virginia bit, and we're right into we're into the main course now.
Speaking of the old Burleys, Father's Day coming up. My two are too little; they haven't got debit cards yet. So I have ordered my Father's Day gifts, and I've gone for. I wonder if any of the guys stateside know about these. I've ordered the old. First of all, I've ordered a My Father Le Bijou 1922 Churchill. Yeah. So that'll be a lovely stick. But I've ordered 2 tins. I've ordered Burley Cornell and Diehl's Burley Flake No. 1. Yeah. Which is Virginia Burley and a little bit of Perique. So that sounds really good. I'm told it's like a very full-bodied after dinner kind of a smoke. And I've also ordered the old divisive haunted bookshop.
Ooh.
So we're looking at some Virginias, white Burleys, and a bit of Perique. Now I'm told, I kind of found out this after, I would have, if I'd known, I think I would have ordered them together, but it's got a bit of a sister blend, which is Old Joe Krantz, which I'm told is pretty much the same blend, but with the dark Burleys. And I think
Well, how about this? I think while we're on the subject, I'm due another order as well. So why don't I put that order in?
Yes.
I'm also going to have another trip down Covent Garden and go and pick up some more cabbies.
Right.
Because I really enjoyed that cigar snuff.
Yeah.
Parlour.
What's their snuff selection like, by the way, down there?
I don't know, but that's not a bad shout either, actually.
Yeah, man. If I'll send you down with some pens, can you replace my Tom Book, which I cannot find?
Yeah, of course I will.
Thanks, man. I'm assuming they'll have Wilson's.
Yeah, undoubtedly. Yeah, so that I think that's maybe the move. So I'll pick up those. So I'll pick up the Krantz, a couple of other blends, and we'll divvy them up. Bless you.
Thank you, bro. Stings the nostrils. In a good way. In a good way. That's those fine blends. That's what they'll do.
Yeah.
But I say it every time, but they're
great.
They fill these tins so full. It's impossible not to spill just a little bit. And then look at me picking up crumbs.
Keeping a hay fever at bay.
Yeah. So, we talked about Pipe Cottage.
Yep.
Talked about the blends that we're smoking. We talked about the mobster stuff.
Yeah.
We're getting a few comments coming in. Duncan says the Dollars trilogy.
Yes.
Is an old favourite of his.
Yes.
Classic Ford hero stuff. Right, yeah. A few dollars more.
Yeah.
Fistful of Dollars.
Yeah.
What's the third one?
Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I think there's some of the other Leone ones as well. So I really like Chucky Bronson in Once Upon a Time in the West.
Right. Yes.
As the harmonic.
Is that Leone?
It's Sergio Leone.
Yeah.
But also there's like High Plains Drifter where
High Plains Drifter is good.
Plays a bit of a bad lad.
Yeah. That's Eastwood.
That's right.
Yeah.
He directs it as well, doesn't he?
Is that right?
Yes, he does. And Hang 'em High.
I've not seen that.
Hang 'em High.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you know what's a great little kind of like fun, cheesy western? The Quick and the Dead. Have you seen that?
Right, I've seen bits of.
Sam Raimi,
yeah,
that is.
Sam Raimi, yeah. A very, very young Leo.
Yeah.
Sharon Stone before she got all wizened up and hit the wall.
Right, yeah. Yeah. She was really cute in that.
So hot.
Yeah.
And I've got flies buzzing around, which means one thing I'm not smoking.
Better light up.
Yeah. And Gene Hackman. The Unforgiven, of course.
Right. The classic anti-western, as they say.
And go on, Master and Commander Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Yeah, Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe himself. That's quite some cast, actually, when you think about it.
Yeah. Have you seen the 310 to Yuma? Is it 310? Or?
Right.
That's Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. And there was also a film called Hostiles, which I have seen, which is pretty good.
That is a great film.
Good. That's kind of what I imagined in a watered down version.
Blood Meridian.
What I imagined for the Blood Meridian.
Yeah, he's got that huge moustache.
Yeah.
And he's just got so much blood on his hands.
That's kind of how I imagined the Captain White to look.
Yeah. That's a great film. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's brutal. You know when they the Apaches.
The Apaches and Comanches, isn't it?
When they raid the little homestead at the start.
That's right. Yeah.
Bro, brutal.
Merciless.
Brutal.
Yeah. But yeah, keep them coming. Any more?
Sam says Cigar and Snuff in Covent Garden is an amazing tobacconist, one of his favourites.
It's great.
Yeah, I've not had the good pleasure of being there yet.
Next time, it's one of the few pleasures that I get out of going down to London. I got to work, but yeah, next time. Who knows? Maybe Colter's playing a show down there. We'll go down. We'll get some tobacco.
Yeah.
Some snuff, and we hit a show up.
Yeah.
Good selection of meerschaums as well. Tiny shop. Really well stocked.
I'd love to get a meerschaum at some point.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned this before, but one of my greatest regrets in life is that, like, I spur of the moment bought a couple of Cult of War tickets, and it was on like a Wednesday night down in London or something. And when it came to that week of the show, I was just like, can't make this. I just had to like let it go by, and it's just one of my greatest regrets. Yeah.
God willing.
Yeah. God willing, we'll make it.
Yeah.
To a show. Right. How are we doing for?
This blend is going out so nicely. So just coming back a little bit to the blends and in terms of Burleys, because I don't think I've ever smoked a white Burley blend. What's the difference?
Yeah, well, I'm not an expert on this, but I think the the dark Burleys, so you're talking about like the DFK, the Dark Fried Kentuckys, they've spent some time like being fired, obviously.
Yeah.
Stronger in nicotine.
Okay.
And I think that's where Burley moves more into chocolate, malty kind of territory.
Yeah.
The other white Burleys that traditionally used to cool down like a Virginia.
Yeah.
But that's looking at more sort of like the toasted nut kind of side, and it's not as strong in terms of tobacco. But it's an American original, Burley. I believe it was cultivated in, I'm not exactly sure where, but in America.
Amazing.
And then obviously Burley, Perique begins life as Burley.
Yeah.
And then obviously you got the old...
fermented.
Fermented in tree trunks traditionally.
Right.
By the natives. And then cultivated by the French.
Yeah.
In Louisiana.
Ah, yeah. Pierre.
Yeah, that's
Little Pierre.
We mentioned that Perique
Yeah.
is like, the diminutive of Pierre.
Yeah.
And then Semoir, obviously. Semoir is a special kind of form of Burley. Yeah.
So my folks they've just come back from France.
Yeah.
Could not get any.
Yeah.
What kind of parallel universe are we living in here? We're living in a universe where basically Biff killed Marty's dad, right? Because we've got a pack of the old Semoir here, and I sent my dear old Ma and Pa hunting all the way around northern France for a pack of this stuff. Couldn't get it. It's made up there.
I know.
It's right round the corner, lads. What you doing?
Damn shame.
What a shame.
Yeah.
But you're off there.
Yeah,
soon.
I'm going to be in Normandy. The old, Caen, next month. So I'm going to have a look for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe a day trip into Paris. I've been, I have the way pointed to a couple of tobacconists. Might get some hardware while I'm over there.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. I'm doing a new one. I'm doing a new pipe.
Knives as well. Good for knives. Yeah. Not just the Opinels. Got TAs, which is just sort of middle of France, I think.
Right.
Mountain regions where they make all the razors.
Right. Okay.
Their steel is really, really good. The carbon steel knife tools. Laguiole, so that lock knife, sort of buck knife type one that I donated to you.
Yeah.
So that's where they're based. So it's all cutlery, cookware, that kind of stuff. I think maybe Sabatier were there at once upon a time as well before they cooked out far east. But knives and that kind of stuff is all dead easy to get hold of in France. So recommend.
Definitely, yeah. I will look for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to some time away.
Yeah.
Take the old pipe.
Yeah.
Pick up some sticks.
Yeah.
Duncan says Death Rides a Horse is a good one. Lee Van Cleef, very underrated.
Oh,
yeah, and a pipe smoker. Yeah.
Massive pipe smoker.
Yeah.
Love his pipe as well, by the way.
Yeah, it's like a Peterson.
Is it Peterson? Yeah. Yeah.
It looks like, I'm not sure if it is, but
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think they did a run on them, so I think you can get the repros.
Right.
Yeah.
I came across a picture the other day of Jack Gleeson.
Yeah.
Joffrey.
Retina Kiss it. Yeah.
No.
Joffrey
of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
There's just a picture
Jack
of him
Gleeson,
on
yeah.
set, like between takes, I guess, and he's got like a curved Peterson system. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Wow.
He just had enough of the old acting.
Yeah.
He's bowed out.
Yeah. It's really wonder.
He was the little kid in
Batman Begins. Yeah, that's right.
Batman gives him the little gadget.
Yeah.
That was him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're moving on to the old westerns next, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get on some of those Ballad of Buster Scruggs as well. That seems.
Yeah, I didn't watch that all the way through. That's a Coen Brothers one, right?
Coen Brothers, yeah. Well,
True Grit. Yeah.
True Grit.
True Grit is good. I like both, to be honest.
Yeah.
But Jeff Bridges is really good.
Yeah, he does a good job.
Rooster, yeah.
Yeah. That's them's big cowboy boots to fill.
Yeah, absolutely. Old
Johnny Wayne, yeah.
Him when he played Genghis Khan.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, Genghis was a bit of a Chad as well.
Yeah.
And
in a way.
And so is John Wayne, I guess.
Yeah,
so there we go. Is that you, John Wayne? Yes, me. Amazing.
Right, bro. Are we got anything?
I think we're good. So maybe we'll talk a little bit about what we're going to go through for the next kind of couple of videos. So we're still going to get through a bit of lighter maintenance. So I think that's probably the next move is that we'll do a video for that rather than a live thing because it's a bit boring me just talking while I'm stripping the lighter down and cleaning it up.
Yeah, and plus we'll get better shots if we're not on like a static live stream. Yeah.
So I think that's the move. I think maybe as well, maybe a little bit on pipe maintenance.
Yeah.
What do we do about sort of trimming cake? What do we do? I know we've talked a bit about it, but I think maybe that'd be good to show some shorts. What a caked up pipe looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's getting ready for a trim back.
Yeah.
What a pipe looks like, maybe. I think maybe one that we could do, like an ongoing thing, is like a when we get a new pipe, not if, when we get a new pipe, how it cakes up over time.
Yeah.
From smoking. So maybe again, that's maybe one that we can, like a slow burner that we can do.
Well, what I really like, I'm not subject. What I really like about this pipe, which is the Sistina, which I've been smoking a lot, and it is caking up.
Yeah.
Is that this came without any kind of pre-carbonization.
Right.
So it's been good to see it go from bare briar to caked up.
So when you say like carbonisation, just to kind of explain that a bit for us.
Well, I'd say most pipes these days come with some form of pre-carbonisation, and the idea is that, you know, it's there to help the cake build up. So, for example, Blakemar, which you got a couple of, I know what they do is they've got like an iron that is the diameter of the bowl, a little bit less, I guess, and it's heated up really hot, and they press it in, and it kind of carbonises the wood. I do believe that some use a kind of paste, some kind of paste. I know that it's been. I've read that a DIY one is sour cream and activated charcoal.
No way.
Yeah. So you like make a paste, and I'm sure it was sour cream. It was some kind of dairy for sure.
Yeah. I should imagine that'd stink.
I know. Yeah. Imagine that just smoking.
Don't get me wrong. I love my sour cream, but like, not
in the right place.
Just not in my pipe.
Just in the right place. Yeah. Yeah. I love sour cream.
So yeah, that's interesting. So you don't, because most of the ones that I've bought have been like pre-carbonised to some extent, just to get the finish on it.
Yeah, that wasn't, and I've got a Rop horn stemmed, which is a lovely little pipe, little nose warmer.
Yeah,
I smoked that one day on the live stream. That wasn't as well.
Yeah,
but yeah, all my other ones have been.
Yeah,
yeah. But it's just nice to see it go from that, you know, that light naked briar to blackened to cake.
I like to see the outside of the bowl get a bit weathered as well. So this is my bulldog bowl for my Falcon, which I'm smoking tonight, and that was okay. It wasn't quite that colour, but it wasn't far off, was it? It was much brighter, and that's really darkened up in the hand as I've smoked it through.
Well, you'll notice too, once you put a few smokes through the clay, that it picks up a nice colour too.
Yeah.
Same with Meerschaum. I don't have a Meerschaum.
Yeah.
I'd like to get a Meerschaum. It's a delicate pipe.
I can't have nice things.
Yeah.
not with those 3 tearaways that I've got at home. But yeah, it'd be good to have one in the cupboard that just gets brought out for special occasions.
Yeah. I would like to,
when the kids are out,
drop some money on like a block Meerschaum.
Yeah.
You know? One day.
Yeah. When we've made it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, so we've got some ideas for some videos coming up. So we'll work away on some of those, and in the meantime, we'll get some more streaming done. So next one's going to be Casino. We'll do that.
Yeah.
Sopranos Series 2.
Exactly. I was going to say that. Yeah.
So, things are developing. So I've just started episode 1, and Janice has just shown up. Or what's a wacky name?
Pavati.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that'll last very long. But
No.
As soon as she gets back towards a sensible gentleman, that soon disappears.
Yeah, that gets dropped. Yeah.
And I think we're probably due another stick review as well, maybe.
Yeah. Well, we haven't done any stick reviews yet.
No.
But yeah.
No, just smoked them.
Yeah, we just smoked them after this. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you guys think. I was a little bit concerned that, because when we started this, I was just purely a pipe smoker, and I kind of got into the cigars, and I want this to always be about pipes primarily.
Yeah.
And I mean, do you agree?
Yeah, I think so.
But
I think so.
We can do some cigar reviews.
Yeah.
I think the live streams are always going to be about smoking pipes.
It's better with a pipe, yeah. I think so.
But some reviews would be, some sticks would be great, yeah.
No,
I think so, definitely.
We'll do that. Outstanding.
Darren Hong has joined in. He says, "What this? This is the Green Dragon."
Welcome, Darren. We are smoking pipes, having a drink.
Yeah. Talking rubbish.
Shooting the breeze.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. But we're just wrapping up, so you came in at the end.
But catch us on the thanks, bro. Catch us on the replay.
Yeah.
Watch back and again, if you've got some comments, you've got some stuff that you want us to take a look at. Same for anybody. Stick a comment in the chat, and we'll we like interacting with you guys.
Yeah, we do. We really do. So, in terms of next stream, next weekend is, of course, Father's Day. I think you're busy on Saturday, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So probably not one next weekend. Maybe another midweek one.
Could do. Yeah, could do. I could shoot the video Friday if you wanted for the lighter stuff. Friday evening if you wanted.
Can't do Friday.
Okay.
Wednesday or Thursday would be the day for me.
Yeah. Okay.
To do something. Yeah.
Could do Friday. Could do Thursday evening.
Yeah.
I'm off on Friday.
Okay.
So could film the lighter maintenance one.
Yeah.
That'd be good. It's getting ready for a clean up because it's absolutely caked. So that's probably a good time for me to do it.
Yeah. Right.
Outstanding. Well, thanks, bro, and thanks guys for joining us.
Thanks. Yeah. It's been good. Thank you for joining in. We're gonna go and play with Biggie.
Yeah.
And
that's not a euphemism.
And old Jonathan's impatiently waiting, so we're gonna catch up. Yeah.
God bless, brothers.
God bless.
God save you.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.